Hey everyone, this is UV and this is my first TouchDesigner tutorial. Today we're gonna build a 2D particle system using only tops. This is the system here you can see and the end result. Um, this is not a tutorial for beginners. I'm not gonna go deeply into how to use TouchDesigner or um, details about the operators and stuff like this, but there's plenty of other tutorials for that, uh, and I will link some in the description. So yeah, let's start by deleting everything and building from scratch with you guys. So first let's grab a constant chop, and in the constant chop let's set the resolution of our render, um, the number of particles, which we'll call count, the size of the particle, which will be 0.001, speed 0.1, and rate, which will be 1 divided by me dot time dot rate. Cool. Let's name this guy data. Give it a black color. Alright, let's start by building a render network. So let's grab a geocomp, camera, a light, render, and PBR material. Let's set the resolution of the render, change the pixel format to 32-bit float RGBA. Let's grab a level after the render, transform for the black background, and then out. Let's display. Cool. Let's quickly go inside the geo, delete the torus, put our rectangle sub, transform, and null. And don't forget to turn on the display and the render. In the transform, let's grab the size, chop reference it in the uniform scale. Alright, so we're ready to start to build the system. Let's start with the initial position. We're gonna build a simple UV map with a ramp. Let's set the resolution, pixel format, 32-bit float mono. Let's grab a flip it to bottom left, reorder, flip into the second input, in the output we're going to change it to input 2, and the blue here to 0, change the pixel format to 32-bit float RGBA, and we have a nice grid of points. Cool. Let's grab a null at the end and call it pose init and color it with orange. Oh, not all of them, maybe only the null at the end. Okay, so let's continue for building the life of the particles. We're gonna start with the noise top, change the resolution, make it 32-bit float mono plus alpha. Then change in the noise tab to random, offset to 1, and these are the initial values of our particle life, and we're gonna subtract like a small number in each frame uh, to these values. So let's grab a constant, in the output tab set resolution only, and in the constant let's put the value that we're going to subtract, which will be the speed multiplied by the rate. Great. So for this we want to have a feedback, and have subtract, and put the subtract into the feedback. Here target up, and let's have a null, call it life, make it blue. Now actually, if you want to see it better, let's change the amount of particles to 2, which will be basically 4, and that now we can basically, sorry, well, everything is is orange. Sorry guys, 1 second, let's change it. Okay, so let's change the particles to 4, 2 basically, which will be 4 particles, and then let's grab all of this and make it nearest pixels. So as you can see, this particle or pixel, its initial value, it's 1.2278, and when I'm gonna reset, let's reset, I have a keyboard in here for resetting the feedback. When I press the reset, it goes from that value and down until forever. So what we need basically is to stop it when it gets to 0, and to reinitialize it to its initial value. So for that, we're gonna from the feedback grab a threshold, and the threshold should be 0, and here change it to greater. So now what we have here is the values that are less than 0 will pop up here as white pixels. Alright, let's also make it nearest pixels, nearest pixel, and then we're gonna multiply this threshold with the initial values, and also nearest nearest pixel, nearest pixel. Next, another threshold from the feedback. This time the threshold will be also 0, but the comparator will stay at less. So these guys are the pixels that are above 0. So they will stay white until they will uh, get negative. So let's change it to nearest pixel and nearest pixel. And this threshold, we're gonna multiply it with the feedback itself. So basically what we have here is the initial values of the pixels that are currently less than 0, and this one, it's the initial values of the pixels that are currently above 0. Let's make this one also nearest pixel. So we're gonna grab an over, not outside, and over, and connect those two to the over, nearest pixel, nearest pixel, and take the over and connect it to here. Let's make it a bit more nice. Alright, so oops, let's see if it's what we wanted. We have the initial value. Let's look at the left bottom pixel. We have its initial value, and here we can see if I press reset, it's getting decreasing from its initial value until it will get to 0, and it will get back, and this loop will last forever. Basically, you don't need this keyboard even to pulse the feedback. You can just pulse it and it will go forever, uh, as you can see. Cool. So this is our particle life. Now what we need is the vector field, which is very simple. Let's grab a noise, change the resolution, and also we can now change the resolution, the number of particles back to this one. Yeah, so in this noise we're gonna make it 32-bit RG. In the noise tab, let's change it to simplex 40. Why not? I'm just gonna put the numbers that they is putting in the example. Exponent, amplitude, set to 0 and not monochrome. Great. Let's insert another noise, and in this noise we're gonna put this seed, period 2, harmonic to 1, exponent amplitude, and also not monochrome. And let's insert a math here to make the vector field much more smaller with the multiply, and we will multiply it by speed and multiply by the rate. So it will be blank, but there's still tiny values here because we want to add the field, the force basically. It's like kind of a force to the position of the particles slightly in each frame. Yeah, they will move smoothly and will not explode or something like this. So yeah, let's grab a null here and make it vectors and yellow. Great. So we have, I think, everything that we need um, for building the last part, which will be the compute part. Let's make everything here nearest pixels also. Okay, so for the compute part, let's grab a select and let's select the pose init, and next let's bring a null here just in case and name it pose in. After the pose in, let's grab a feedback, keyboard in to pose it, and also to reset it. Next, we will grab an add, and we're gonna add our vectors here. So let's select them and grab a null, call it vectors in, add them. Let's grab a null here, call it pose out, and grab it into the target pose. Okay, so if I pulse, you can see something is happening here. We can also see it. So looks nice, but it's not quite what we want. And so yeah, what we want basically is not to add uh, the vector field uh, based on itself. We want to basically remap it um, to the current position of the particles. Uh, we can do it by connecting and remap here, and this is the source image and this is the UV image. So this guy should be actually the UV. Sorry, let's disconnect. This guy will be the UV, and this guy, the field itself, will be the source image. And yeah, let's pause it, and we have something much more nicer. But as you can see, um, the particles are basically, how do you say, converging into themselves, uh, and this is not what we want. So this is why we built the particles life that will initialize their positions when they basically die. So for that, let's grab another select. Let's put this a bit back, and to the select we need to take the first threshold, and this threshold we will get all the pixels that are basically died. uh, Something is a bit, no, everything is good. So these pixels are basically the pixels that are dying. So let's multiply them with the initial position. Sorry. Actually, it should be the other way. And here we have all the um, particles position, the particles which were basically died already. And let's make a bit of a room here. We need to grab an over here and connect this one here and this one here. Cool. Let's initialize everything and let's see what we get. Yes, exactly what we wanted. So there's still this nice movement, but the particles are reburning and looks very nice. Now let's do the instancing part. So we can color this one with a red color, and let's grab this over here and select the pose out and grab a null. We'll call it pose instancing, make it purple, go to the geo, go to the instancing tab, first one, turn on instancing, drag it to the translate, and we only need R and G. So we barely can see something here in the rendering. Let's fix it by going into the camera, in the view. We don't need perspective because it's 2D. Yeah, and the graphic, this is what we need. Center and ortho width, let's go with 1. So yeah, sorry about that, in the camera orthographic, ortho width 1, bottom left. So now we can almost see something here. So let's go to the palette and in image filters, let's find the feedback. Sorry. On feedback, yeah. Let's connect it like this. Inside the feedback, let's make the opacity 0.98 and try mix 0.58. Um, Next, also we're gonna grab the boom and connect it. Threshold all the way down. We don't need any blur. Iterations 2. Intensity 0.85. Bloom level up to 1. Glue I don't want. Maybe if you want, you can try it. Yeah, cool. So we kinda see something here going on. Let's maybe increase the light a bit to maybe 3. Yeah, looks quite good. Yeah, basically you can play for now by yourself with the look um, itself. Um, you can add some colors if you want. You can also change this noise um, and so on. Um, what else you can do is to animate the noise, of course. Go to the transform, uptime, seconds, the 0.1. Let's do it also to here. Uh, Second noise. So yeah, this is it. Basically, the whole thing is driven by those two. Um, and of course, you can create a lot of nice textures and to drive the particles the way you want. Um, and the rule is basically that the you know RGB is the XYZ of the position, so you can really think and be creative and make a nice movement. I hope you understand everything and you like it. And if you have any questions about uh, this network or any problems, you can feel free to message me on Instagram. You can find it here in the right corner. And yeah, this tutorial is I think won't be the last. I hope so. And yeah, thank you very much for being with me. Hope to see you soon in another